What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to talk about Social Security. I'm going to show you Senator Blackburn. She's going to be talking about this big, beautiful bill. We know they're trying to pass this big, beautiful bill through the Senate. It already passed in the House, and the Senate will probably make some changes, pass it, and then send it back to the House for them to pass it again. If there are major adjustments, they're going to need to do that. And Senator Blackburn is talking about the different things that are in the big, beautiful bill. And I find it very interesting that she doesn't know everything that's in the big, beautiful bill. And I'm going to show you what I mean when I show you this clip. And this is coming from her website. So she posted this. Actually, she posted it on Twitter. And this was on June 11th. So this was after the House passed the bill. Now, remember, the House passed this bill without including no tax on Social Security. What they did is they had a tax deduction, $4,000 tax deduction on people 65 or older. So that would impact seniors, but it's not specifically for Social Security. And so I'll play you this clip. And remember, this is an ad that she put together. Okay, this is not something that's coming from someone else. She put this together. So let me show you guys that in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video. If you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. And once again, if you guys want to send me an email, if you have a show idea, you can send that email, david@thetecshow.com. Okay, let me go ahead and show you this. And this is going to blow your mind. I mean, it's amazing to me, these politicians. They amaze me because they just come out and say things and they really don't know what's going on a lot of times. So let me show you this. Okay, so let's go ahead, put this at full here, and here we go.
Well, in our office, we refer to the big, beautiful bill as the OB3. Let me tell you what is in there. It will be the largest tax cut for American taxpayers in our nation's history. If we don't pass this, it would be the biggest tax hike in American history. In addition to being the largest tax cut, you're going to see R&D, you're going to see bonus depreciation, interest expensing for so many of our businesses. I also like the fact that we're tucking in those no tax on tips or overtime, and the bill that I've worked on for years, no tax on Social Security for our seniors. There's a whole lot more, and it is worth getting this across the finish line, getting it signed before July 4th, so that the American people know it is a true Independence Day.
Okay, so there was Senator Blackburn saying that in this bill, the big, beautiful bill, there's going to be no tax on Social Security. Now, I haven't heard that from any other senator. She's the only one that said that. So could there be no tax on Social Security in this big, beautiful bill? Possibly, but I doubt it because changes haven't been made. We haven't been hearing about this no tax on Social Security. So if she's saying that, that would be news to a lot of people. Right now, they're just trying to work out some type of a deal when it comes to this big, beautiful bill, because if they make major changes in the Senate, it's probably not going to pass in the House. And if it doesn't pass in the House, then we have no bill. And so that would be a major change if we saw no tax on Social Security. Not to mention the Byrd rule in the Senate wouldn't allow for them to have no tax on Social Security. And so this is, I mean, she's saying something that is not possible in the Senate. So it's just amazing to me. Now, I do want to show you some of the comments because some people commented on her post, and I just found it amusing because what I was saying about senators and just Congress people in general, politicians in general, you need to know your stuff. Okay, some politicians do. They do their research. They know what's going on. They look at these bills. They know what's in the bills, and they vote on them accordingly. We saw Marjorie Taylor Greene was one of them. We saw a few other Congress people that voted on this big, beautiful bill, but didn't read the bill. They didn't know what was in the bill. And then after they voted on the bill, then they said, oh, you know what? I didn't know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I didn't know this AI stuff was in there. I don't agree with that. And she's asking the senators to make changes when she could have voted no on that bill, but she didn't read the bill. She just voted with everyone else. And that's an issue. That's a big problem because you are there to represent the American people. You are there to represent your district, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And so if you see something that you think would impact your state or impact your district, you should vote no. And there was something in there that she didn't like, but she voted for it and then said, you know what? I didn't see that part of the bill. I don't think she read the bill at all. I think she relied on her staff and they told her, yeah, you know, this is good. Everything looks good. And she didn't do the research herself. That is what they're in office for, to represent the American people. And if you're not doing the research, if you're not doing your homework, then you shouldn't be there. Okay, let's go and take a look at the comments here. And Flannel says here, stop lying, Marcia. It says one big beautiful bill, OB3, passed the House on May 22nd, 2025, does not include a provision for no tax on Social Security. Okay, instead, it offers that $4,000 tax deduction, which we talked about. And then Indy Kev here says, the big beautiful bill includes no tax on Social Security for seniors, ? And then he says, you are not referring to that bait and switch substitute tax deduction that only applies to Social Security recipients that make less than $70,000. And then a very British dad in America says, and he's talking about the 3 years. And I want to talk about that because I think that's very important too. So in this big, beautiful bill, these tax cuts, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, the tax deduction, the $4,000 tax deduction for people 65 and older, guess what? 3 years. That's all you get. 3 years. Now, when it comes to the 2017 tax cuts that benefit mainly the rich, guess what? That's going to be permanent. It's not going to be 3 years. It's going to be permanent. But when it comes to the no tax on tips, just when you start getting used to the no tax on tips, but for those people who in the service industry, guess what? It's going to be gone. It's going to be gone. Same thing with no tax on overtime. And then the tax deduction, the people are 65 and older who can benefit from this tax deduction, which it's not going to be that many people that will benefit from it. It's only 3 years. They're not telling you that. They're not telling you that it's only 3 years. They're just making it sound like, you know what, tax cuts for everybody. Everybody's getting tax cuts. And it's all permanent because they're not telling us anything else. And so that's why you really need to pay attention to these politicians and know where they're coming from and know what they're talking about. Because they will fool you. They will fool you into thinking, oh, they're there to help us. And guess what? They're helping the wealthy. They're making their tax cuts permanent. But for you, 3 years should be good enough. That's all. And so pay attention. Even when we're talking about the 2017 tax cuts, when they initially passed that back in Trump's first administration, 2017 tax cuts, it expired. Guess when? It expires in 2025. So that wasn't even permanent. Now they're saying, you know what? Let's make it permanent this time. And so really, I mean, it's sad for the American people. Because they are talking about making some drastic cuts to Medicaid and some of these other programs, the SNAP program, things like that. So you're taking money from people who really need the money, and you're going to shift that over to the wealthy. Because that's what it's going to come down to. 2017 tax cuts, make them permanent. That's where the spending is going to go. It's not going to go to the people who really need it the most. Okay, and we're not just talking, when it comes to SNAP benefits, you have a lot of elderly people, a lot of seniors that rely on SNAP benefits. You have children that also rely on SNAP benefits. And you also have seniors that rely on Medicaid and children that rely on Medicaid. And so when we're talking about these cuts, it's not just able-bodied people that they're talking about. Well, these able-bodied people, they can work, and so they don't need Medicaid. We're also talking about people who desperately need it. And if you start making those cuts, not only is it going to impact Medicaid, but it's going to impact some of the hospitals that rely on Medicaid, Medicaid, the money that's coming from Medicaid. So people who are utilizing those hospitals, if they don't have the same population coming into those hospitals, then they're going to have to do away with those hospitals. And it could be a hospital near you that you go to all the time. And so those things you have to think about. So you might not be receiving Medicaid benefits. You might not be a part of SNAP, but it could still impact you, especially if you have a family member that's receiving SNAP benefits or receiving Medicaid. If they're no longer able to receive it, then guess what? Of course, you're going to help your family, but that's going to be more of a burden on you. And so just something to think about. I thought it was really interesting. Senator Blackburn's out there talking about no tax on Social Security when that is not even in the bill. So I want to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.